Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry News YouTube channel. Hi, I'm Alex. I hope you are all okay, keeping warm in this cold weather. Meghan and Harry Part 2, episodes 4, 5 and 6 have dropped onto Netflix today, and it seems that some of the press, some of the journalists have started to come out of the woodwork and admit that they were briefed to go after Meghan and Harry while leaving Kate and William alone, or as I have suggested, deliberately on a daily basis go after Meghan and Harry and concoct negative stories out of the tiniest things in order to tarnish their names and reputations, while simultaneously printing sycophantic positive stories about Kate and William, sometimes in direct contrast story that is being said about Meghan, such as the private jet commercial flight story. Here is a montage of recent people who are coming out of the woodwork. This must be happening only now because of the sheer amount of views this Netflix documentary is getting, and they feel they have no choice but to admit what they have done. But they have allowed this to continue and are a part and parcel to it.
Actually, when I was working, I shouldn't give the name of the paper, but I was doing a piece for one of the nationals, writing a piece. And I was told, because I'm quite critical of the monarchy in many ways, I was told I could say what I wanted about Harry and Meghan, but I had to lay off William and Kate. That was the instruction from the editor.
I think that most of the general public would assume that the monarchy are at the mercy of the British press, when the reality is there is a far greater level of manipulation that goes on from the royal courts to the media than Joe Public would ever believe.
It's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why haven't...
And if it comes from Kensington Palace,
right,
why are they briefing against their own...
So, two of the main takeaways from the latest episodes are that Harry blames the media for the miscarriage, and also about Prince William screaming at him. There are others, so if you're still to watch the new episodes, this might come as a spoiler, but here are more details on these and other events. Harry claimed his brother, the Prince of Wales, screamed and shouted at him at a crisis summit in January 2020 at Sandringham in front of the Queen. His wife Meghan had deliberately not been invited, Harry said, to the gathering at which the couple's plans to step back from royal duties was to be discussed. Harry says he went to that Sandringham meeting with 5 options, ranging from option 1, all in, to option 5, all out, and that in the meeting he chose option 3, for them to have their own jobs but continue to support the Queen's work in the Commonwealth while living abroad in Canada. It became very clear, Harry said, that the option was not up for debate. It was very terrifying to have my brother scream and shout at me, and my father says things that were just simply untrue, and my grandmother quietly sit there and sort of take it all in. The Duke of Sussex accused his father's office of leaking private correspondence between Harry and Charles to the media over his plans to move to Canada. The key piece of that story that made me aware that the contents of the letter between me and my father had been leaked was that we were willing to relinquish our Sussex titles, he said. That was the giveaway. Harry maintains this possibility was only mentioned in written communications with his father up to that point. Harry said returning to the UK for the funeral of his grandfather, Prince Philip, was hard because of the attitude of his brother and father towards him. It was hard, especially spending a time having chats with my brother and father who were just, very much focused on the same misinterpretation of the whole situation. None of us really wanted to have to talk about it at my grandfather's funeral, but we did. I've had to make peace with the fact that I'm probably never going to get genuine accountability or a genuine apology. The prince also claimed palace wars left him heartbroken, suggesting Prince William's office deliberately briefed against him and Meghan, despite a promise the brothers had made not to copy the same tactics used by Charles's office. Of the bitterness caused throughout the process of the couple's departure as working royals, Harry said of the royal households, "I think from their perspective, they had to believe that it was more about us and maybe the issues that we had as opposed to their partner. the media and themselves, and that relationship that was causing so much pain for us. They saw what they wanted to see. He added, I mean, the saddest part of it was this wedge created between me and my brother, so that he's now on the institution side, and I get, part of that I get. I understand, right? That's his inheritance, so to some extent it's already ingrained in him that part of his responsibility is the survivability and the continuation of this institution. In other revelations made in new episodes of the Netflix Harry and Meghan documentary, released on Thursday, Harry claimed a joint statement was put out without his permission in his and William's name on the day of the summit, denying a story that William had bullied him out of the royal family. He added, I would far rather get destroyed in the press than play along with this game, this business of trading, to see my brother's office copy this very same thing that we promised the two of us would never ever do. This was heartbreaking. His comments imply William and Kate's aides briefed against the couple as Meghan speaks of how she thought of taking her own life after a barrage of negative press coverage. She said, it was like all of this will stop if I am not here, and that was the scariest thing about it. It was such clear thinking. Harry said he was devastated and felt angry and ashamed that it had got to that stage, saying he did not deal with it particularly well. I dealt with it as an institutional Harry as opposed to husband Harry, saying he now hated himself for putting his royal role first. So, have you watched the new episodes yet? I'll get back with a proper review later, but let me know in the comments what you thought of these new episodes.